Hi Aries, how's it going? I hope you're doing awesome. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. I'm going to be doing a general reading for you. I've already cleared the energy of the cards and shuffled. Some of these cards are, I don't think YouTube would like some of the pictures, so just covered up a couple things. Anyways, this is a 10-card Celtic cross spread. I'm just doing it in 2 rows because it's easier for me. This card jumped out when I was shuffling for you earlier, but it came out reversed in your reading. When a card comes out reversed, it just means you're getting extra protection from Spirit. This card over here is the Judgment card. This card says rebirth on the card. This is the overall energy message. So let's get started. Let's start with your, maybe we'll start with the overall energy of your card. The Judgment card, this is a major arcana card. It's the second last major arcana card in the tarot, and it's all about judgment, rebirth, going through some kind of transformation, having an awakening. It's a card of acceptance, purpose, renewal, forgiveness. You're being called to face your past before moving on. It's time to acknowledge whatever happened, accept it, and let it go. You've learned so much and you've been through so much. You now have the wisdom and strength to free yourself from the past. So it's a time for change. A time for change is at hand. It could be a new job, a new relationship, or a new way of life. But this time, you're more in control of the situation. You have the experience and the knowledge to move forward. You just have to make your final farewells. You're having some kind of personal awakening. Maybe you're turning away from a traditional set of beliefs towards one that better suits your personal philosophy of life. The Judgment card can represent the end of an old way of life, a cycle that's finished. It's time to seek a new direction, to make adjustments that reflect who you truly are. This card is positive. It's a positive card. It symbolizes regeneration and rebirth after a period of confusion and confinement. You may have felt that in your old life. The Judgment card is saying that you have the unique opportunity to enliven yourself and your environment by making some changes. It's a time of freedom to be yourself, is the message with the Judgment card. You've had a wake-up call from the universe. You're now ready to step into a new phase of your maturing process. Your life is fairly settled now. You're letting things grow at a steady pace without hurrying the process. A new phase in your life is coming into being as the natural result of your maturity. Okay. You might be getting some important news that will prove beneficial. You might learn something new that will bring you joy and a sense of fulfillment. Your health improves and problems are easily solved with the Judgment card. Your first card out is The Four of Wands reversed. This card represents your current situation. This is you, Aries, showing up in your reading. The Four of Wands reversed could represent a delay. It could represent... There's a few different messages with the Four of Wands reversed. It's still a positive card. It could mean that you're celebrating your good fortune in a quiet way. You may be expanding your property holdings or in creative output without fanfare. Financial gains may be more modest than if the card came out upright, but you're satisfied with your accomplishments and the sense of having done a job well. Your public image, relationships, and your sense of self are favorable at this time. This card warns you not to celebrate too soon. Things may appear to be fine, but Spirit is saying just wait a little bit longer to make sure. And it could also suggest that you rethink your plans for the future. Some kind of delay. Maybe you're celebrating the achievement of a personal goal, like quitting smoking or maybe doing yoga every day for like a month. You also may be in the midst of your journey and yet to reach the finish line, preferring to honor this mini milestone privately. You've achieved a level of inner harmony and stability. You've found a sense of greater balance within yourself. This card may point to a lack of harmony or a breakdown in communication in your family or household. And this may leave you uncertain about your relationships or what or whom you can or cannot depend on. You're going through an upheaval which you have little stability. You feel you have little stability and security. You may experience multiple changes in your life, such as changing jobs, moving house, or leaving a relationship. And then your second card is what's crossing you or what's challenging you or your situation or what you're celebrating. Eight of Wands reversed. Sagittarius energy. So the Eight of Wands reversed could suggest that you're being hasty, you're moving too fast, and you're not in tune with the energy surrounding your situation. It could be delays again. Spirit is bringing up delays again. It could be losing momentum, being impulsive. Things are slow, feeling slow. Slowing down, waiting. The Eight of Wands reverse says you're charging ahead with an idea or plan, but you need to slow down and consider your next steps before continuing. You might miss something in your haste and be prone to making mistakes or poor decisions. You might rush into things without a clear plan. You never accomplish anything because you're jumping from one idea to the next and finishing none of them. You're resisting change. Let go and be in the flow. If you've been feeling stuck, do things different. Get the energy moving again. There may be delays concerning travel or fast-moving plans. Keep looking for alternative ways around challenges and carry out your plans. Hold off your activities until the situation becomes more stable and predictable. You're aligning your resources, getting your life in order. Now you can move forward with your plans. Okay? This card could represent bad timing, missed opportunities. Movement may be unwanted, stressful, or unpleasant, such as being transferred across the country when you'd rather stay put. But Spirit's saying just go with the flow wherever it leads. Allow yourself to be open to new experiences. Be prepared of what you're getting yourself into, because your relationships may suffer. You might be required to reprioritize your schedule to accommodate other people's needs. And then your foundation message is the Two of Swords reversed. This card is Libra energy. This is a card of indecision, confusion, hesitancy, and imbalance, delays again. So 3 times Spirit is bringing up delays. But, you know, divine timing, right? Things are going to happen when Spirit, the universe, wants them to happen. The Two of Swords reversed. You're facing a difficult situation and cannot decide which direction to take. You're caught between a rock and a hard space. It may feel impossible to make the right decision, as you believe either option will lead to negative consequences. You're feeling stuck, unable to move forward. You may also lack the information you need to make a sound decision. You may be closed off to information that could resolve your dilemma. You might be experiencing information overload. Take the advice that is most relevant and helpful. Listen to your intuition. Make decisions based on your own internal compass. You're at a stalemate with a friend, a loved one, a colleague, or other. You're butting heads. Look at the situation from a different angle. Try to compromise or you won't move forward. You're feeling stuck between 2 competing sides. Decide if you can create peace. If not, just walk away, Spirit is saying. This card indicates a broken truce or an imbalance in a situation. It could also mean that a choice is made for you rather than by you. You feel helpless to make the necessary changes. One party may be unwilling to admit to the truth of the situation, making discourse impossible. This may result in deceit, disloyalty, and duplicity. And then your 4th card is a King of Cups. This card, let me just close this like this because it's not appropriate. The King of Cups represents your past but is relevant to your current situation. This could be you, someone in your life, or a situation, male or female, in a general reading. The King of Cups is Scorpio energy. So the King of Cups is someone who has mastery over their emotions. They're emotionally balanced. Mature, compassionate, calm, responsible, respected. He could represent a good husband, father, partner. He could represent a spirit guide, a father figure that has passed on. You're either your own father or someone who fills that role for you. He's loyal, faithful, grounded. He could be an advisor, a counselor. This is a card of control. This card represents mastery over the realms of emotions, creativity, and the unconscious. You've gained control of your feelings and can accept them without allowing them to get the better of you. You don't let things get to you. You steer clear of the drama, instead choosing an emotionally balanced and calm approach. If you're being challenged personally, This card suggests you need to remain emotionally mature when faced with negative energy from others. Be firm on your personal boundaries. Stay true to your emotions and feelings. Don't allow others to steer you off course. Not only are you able to assess and manage a situation logically, but you can also draw upon your intuition and understanding human actions. As you interact with others, you may need to navigate their strong feelings so you can create a sense of peace. Okay. The King of Cups represents your past, but is relevant to your current situation. This king indicates a man who is kindly disposed, a benevolent father figure. Again, someone who may represent your own father or someone who fills that role for you. It can signify an older man with whom you either have or want a romantic relationship. Whether a friend, advisor, or lover, he is utterly trustworthy and dependent. He can be relied upon to come through for you when you need him. This king is peaceful, sensitive, affectionate, calm. He loves his home. He values his family and a relaxed home life. He prefers to lead by teaching through gentle guidance. He may enjoy expressing himself creatively, but is even more supportive of others' creativity, sometimes at the expense of his own. He's generally friendly, caring, very nice man to have around. He may seem overly sentimental and soft to those who don't know him that well. Then your immediate future card, what's likely to happen very soon in your life, is the Seven of Cups reversed. So the Seven of Cups reverse is Scorpio energy again. This card is talking about feeling overwhelmed by your choices, a lack of purpose, confusion, feeling trapped, a lack of spiritual growth. Your immediate future, the Seven of Cups reversed, a lack of imagination, a lack of opportunities, missed opportunities. You face several different choices, and instead of choosing the option that may appeal to others, you're relying on your inner wisdom and guidance to show you the best way. You may come up with your own criteria to help you make decisions in alignment with your inner being. If you find yourself with multiple opportunities or ideas, ground yourself first. Reflect on what you want for the long term. Take a step back, assess the options against your priorities to work out which opportunities will be a real benefit to you. You're overwhelmed by choice and cannot move forward. Reduce your options, focus on what is important to you. You don't need to keep searching for that big idea. You have what you need. So make your pick and move forward with it. Again, Spirit is saying, you're confused because too much is going on. You need peace and quiet to sort through the multiple choices confronting you. Let your feelings be your guide. Okay? This card could also indicate someone who's living in a dream world without any real choices, just fantasies and hopes. It could represent a lack of purpose. It could represent sobriety, lack of options, lack of opportunities, needing reality, needing clarity, distractions, and then the outcome that you desire most in your situation is the Devil card reversed. This is Capricorn energy. So this is a card of freedom, release, control, restoring control, detachment, reclaiming your power, reclaiming control. It's independence. It's overcoming addiction. You may be on the verge of a breakthrough or an up leveling. You're being called to face your highest potential. Excuse me. But first you have to let go of any unhealthy attachments or limiting beliefs that may hold you back. It may be an addiction, an unhealthy relationship, or a disengaging career. Let go of fear. Release any self-imposed limiting beliefs standing in the way of your growth. Confront your inner fears and anxieties to free yourself from the chains that bind you to your limiting beliefs and unhealthy attachments. You're going into your deepest, darkest places. And when you take this path consciously, you do so with strength, confidence, and courage. You seek to understand your innermost shadows so that you can either release them or integrate them into your life in a more constructive way. You may be hiding your deepest, darkest self from others, keeping it a secret. You may have thoughts, fantasies, addictions, or habits that you don't want others to know because you feel embarrassed or ashamed. There's a need to accept who you are and forgive yourself for the thoughts you have. Practice the Buddha principle of detachment, where you overcome your attachment to the desire for things, people, or concepts of the world. Free yourself from any restrictions. Release your dependence on people or things. Cord cutting. Visualization can help to release any unhealthy attachments to others. You feel trapped in a situation over which you feel you have no control. But close examination will reveal that your own attitudes and beliefs are causing the problem. Examine your beliefs and learn how they are restricting you. Be careful of any quick fix to your problems. If you're willing to do the hard work, both on the inner and outer planes, you can begin to live your best life. This card could also indicate a close call with resisting temptation or eliminating certain pleasures from your life for fear of becoming addicted. It could also represent a recent release from a dangerous or destructive situation. Then your self-image card, how you see yourself, is the Eight of Cups, Pisces energy. This is a card of disappointment, withdrawal, abandonment, walking away, leaving something behind, disillusionment, loneliness, desolation, looking for the truth, leaving a bad situation. Your self-image card, how you see yourself. You may feel compelled to walk away from a disappointing situation. It could mean turning your back on an unfulfilling relationship, job, career path, living arrangement, or creative project that was once a source of great happiness to you, but now only brings you pain. You realize that you're no longer getting you realize that you are no longer getting anything out of the situation. Now the only choice is to put it behind you and move on, even if it brings you sadness as you say goodbye. Something is missing on an emotional or spiritual level. You may be trying to escape a problematic emotional situation or avoiding some major psychological issues and concerns. You're trying to pretend they no longer exist, refusing to deal with them. You prefer to pretend everything is okay. Spend time exploring what will bring you true happiness and realign your goals with your values. Your self-image card means that the only solution seems to turn your back on a situation and go in another direction. What's there isn't working as expected, or isn't important anymore. You know what you want and won't settle for anything less. You wish things were different, but they aren't, so you have to let go. Cut your losses, get out of a situation or relationship that has failed despite your best efforts. Turn your sights and energies towards something that is likely to be more fulfilling. You've decided to leave something comfortable behind. You've come to terms with it. You've decided what dream you're moving towards. This is the moment where you finally turn your back forever. And before you take the first step, it's the Eight of Cups. It can be such a conflicted moment filled with sadness over leaving, yet knowing that you're doing the right thing. You're leaving a bad situation. You have a lot of emotional strength and courage. You need a new perspective. A new perspective is needed. You're searching for the truth. You're looking deeper. Your environment or how others see you in your situation is a Nine of Swords. This card is a Gemini energy. This card is about fear, anxiety, negativity, worry, being at your breaking point. It's feeling overwhelmed with guilt, regret, remorse. You're focusing on the past. It's nightmares, it's insomnia, it's isolation. It's suffering, deep unhappiness, a troubled conscience, depression, dark thoughts and disturbing feelings are weighing you down and keeping you up at night. You're worrying excessively about a situation. Your negative thoughts are getting the better of you, leaving you stressed and anxious. The more you associate with your fears, the more they will rule your life. Be careful you're not manifesting through your negative thoughts. When you repeat negative thoughts in your mind, you run the risk of manifesting them in your life. Break the cycle. Every time a negative thought comes into your mind, replace it with a positive one instead. Much of your fear and worry is in your head. Stop overthinking. Examine your situation from a new perspective. Your constant thoughts are preventing you from resting. It may be time to reach out for help, Spirit is saying. Deep-rooted or repressed issues are trying to surface so you can resolve them. It will likely be very challenging to change your attitudes and beliefs, but it's worth the effort and unpleasantness. 9 is a number of completion. This card indicates that the changes you're being required to make forecast a better future. This card shows extreme anxiety, nightmares, tension, unhappiness, regrets over past mistakes or misfortunes. You're in an unhappy, intense state of mind, whether or not the facts bear out the fears. The suffering associated with this card may be mostly in your mind. Okay? And then your hopes and fears is the Three of Swords reversed. The Three of Swords reversed is Libra energy, negative self-talk, forgiveness, moving on, releasing pain, healing, repressing emotions, overcoming grief, sorrow, experiencing a setback, loss, confusion, distraction, refusing to let go of emotions, the inability to let go of pain. This time has passed. The Three of Swords reverse is talking about some kind of setback, okay? Pay attention to your inner thoughts and self-talk. You may be prone to self-criticism, limiting beliefs, and negative self-talk. Look at how you can shift your thoughts towards the positive to reinforce your confidence. You have what it takes to be the person you deserve to be. You may be hypersensitive to others' words and need to develop a thick skin. Let go of the hurt that these words are causing you. It will only hold you back. Do some self-reflection. If you are upset by a friend's accusation that you are selfish, look within yourself to see where you may be acting selfishly. If this behavior is no longer serving you, then let it go. You have recently gone through a difficult patch in which a relationship has ended or been challenged. A loved one has passed, or you were hurt by a situation that affected you deeply. This time has passed and you are on the path to recovery, realizing you have other things in your life that bring you joy. You have reached a point where you can accept the pain and are ready to move forward, or you may be finding it very hard to move on from a recent loss or heartbreak. You're still suffering from an earlier loss and need to go through an emotional purging to free yourself from your past. Be careful that you are not getting stuck in the moment of grief, and instead focus on embracing new opportunities. It's always hard to bear the pain of separation or understand why you have been inflicted with such sorrow. Learn to accept your circumstances so that the healing process will not become blocked. Allow yourself to experience the pain. Give yourself the right to grieve and release the heartache. Open the door to new experiences. If you're experiencing challenges in your relationships, be the peacemaker. Always think before you speak so you will not later regret what you've said. And never be afraid to say that you are sorry. This card can represent pain based on a misunderstanding or malicious gossip. It warns you to make sure you know the full truth of the matter, as the matter may not be what it seems, and someone may be trying to hurt you cruelly and needlessly. The Three of Swords, your hopes and fears in your situation. You're taking this separation too hard and you're not accepting the truth of the situation. You may be blaming someone else instead of acknowledging that you were partly responsible for the breakup too. You may be suffering from depression, unable to move past this difficult situation. Don't get bogged down with what might have been, though, and seek professional help if necessary. And then your future, if all is to remain as is the Six of Pentacles reversed. This is a card of self-care. It's Taurus energy. It could be a lack of generosity. It could be a lack of generosity, abuse of power. This card could represent gifts with strings attached. It's telling you to focus on self-care, strings attached gifts, stinginess, one-sided charity, abuse of generosity. You may be going through a personal or spiritual transition or a rite of passage, so that you can leave behind a relationship, belief, or behavioral pattern that is no longer serving you. This is an intensely personal and private journey. You are working in isolation to make it happen. You've identified what you must release to embrace a new way of thinking, and are now bringing it to fruition in your personal life. You know you need to make a change or transition in your life, but are reluctant to do so. Sometimes you have to push through and beyond your comfort zone. You may be resisting change and transition because you feel it was forced upon you. Reaffirm with yourself why you need to make this transition. If you're trying to move on from the past and are struggling to do so, there may be unfinished business. Seek to resolve these issues. There may be moments when you doubt whether you're making the right decision in leaving behind your past, but This card gently encourages you forward, reminding you that you're heading towards a better future. Okay. Six of Pentacles reversed. This card represents your future if all is to remain as is. This card could suggest that your need will not be met, the loan or scholarship denied. If you're approached for help, you will be unable to do so. And this card also indicates that you will be offered help, but you're going to refuse it. So I would make definitely a note about that, because Spirit has recommended, strong people get help, not weak people. If you need help, there's no shame in it, Aries. I've reached out for help lots of times, and I feel good about it. It's enlightening. This card also reminds you to make sure you're also giving to yourself. A little self-care will go a long way, especially if you've been in giving mode for a long time. Treat yourself to something nice. You might be giving to others freely and they're not giving back in return. If you're struggling yourself, be careful that you do not overcommit yourself to others who seek your help. You need to ensure that you are able to support yourself while helping others. Be mindful about taking on debt. You're prone to getting in over your head. It may come back to bite you. This card reversed can sometimes reflect the selfish side of charity. Be careful that you're not trying to prove to others that you're generous. Aim to give selflessly rather than selfishly. One partner may be doing a lot of the taking, but not a lot of the giving. Be careful that your generous spirit is not being taken advantage of also, okay? The Six of Pentacles reversed might be saying that you need to recoup after a period of loss and confusion. You want to help others, but you don't have the means, and that makes you unhappy. You may be required to find a lifestyle that will create a sense of security for you so that you can find peace of mind. So that is your reading, Aries. If this reading resonated with you, if you could let me know. I'd love to hear from you. If you could like, share, subscribe, leave me a comment. Thank you for allowing me to channel these messages today from Spirit. I'm really grateful. I will see you next time. Take care. Bye.